Hello and welcome. Kerry here from Healing Humanity, the power of a proper human diet. We got the whole gang here, the whole team behind our documentary, Healing Humanity. And today we're going to be giving you an exclusive look, an introduction, so that you can meet all of these wonderful, incredible individuals that have been helping put this documentary together. We would be nowhere without this team. I've said from the beginning, this is our documentary. Now you can meet some more of the people that are really helping move this thing forward. I'm really excited to share this with everybody. Some amazing people on the team. One of the really cool things that I'm very proud about is the fact that pretty much everyone on the team is eating a proper human diet, and they have their own inspirational stories. And that's what this whole documentary is about, right? Is the inspiring stories, the individual stories. It's the documented stories that matter. Well, each of these amazing individuals has their own story. So we wanted to not only introduce you to the team behind the documentary, but also let you hear their story and maybe get some inspiration from them. A lot of the folks on the team here have their own incredible YouTube channels where they're sharing their stories. They're sharing what's worked. It's like one of the best things if you're starting carnivore, in my opinion, is to find someone you can resonate with. And maybe your story, maybe it doesn't resonate with me, but maybe it resonates with Adam or Robin or Ashley or Lynn. So we have links in the description below for everyone on the video tonight. And there's a couple people missing. Huge shout out to Alia Wells. She's incredible. Alia has her own YouTube channel. Alia has been amazing going. Adam, when did we do that 24-hour live stream? That was almost a year ago now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah, it's hard to believe it was that long ago.
I think Alia was one of the first people to kind of plant the seed about doing this 24-hour live stream. She's got a background in fundraising, and that 24-hour live stream really got us some momentum going to get a lot of the equipment we needed for the documentary and to go travel around the world filming these people. So Alia is wonderful. Unfortunately, she's under the weather today. She couldn't make it, but there's a link in the description for her YouTube channel as well. I see a bunch of people jumping on the chat. Wow, this is crazy. Let us know in the sidebar if you have any questions for anyone here on the team. If you have questions about the documentary, let us know where you're from, what you're eating too. I always like to hear that as well. We're going to do kind of a round table, and we're going to talk to each of these amazing individuals, hear their personal stories, and why are they so passionate about carnivore that they have decided to volunteer their time to help with this effort. This whole team, and we're all volunteering to put this together for you. So we'll kind of go around the table and do that as well. And then we have some other really awesome announcements. We have the little teaser trailer for the documentary. There's some familiar faces in the chat, but there's quite a few people here that are maybe new that haven't seen it. So we're going to show that tonight. And then we've got some other really fun things that the team has been working on that we want to share with everyone here. So maybe everyone's heard my story already, so I'm not going to waste any time on my story. I'm down 100 pounds since my heaviest, overcame depression, anxiety, decided to do this documentary on day 67 of Carnivore, and Carnivore's changed my life forever. I'm profoundly grateful that I found it, and I will not shut up about it for the rest of my life. It's become my passion. It's become my mission. It's become my goal in life. We're going to do it through this documentary and all these incredible individuals here. And then we're going to do a series after that. And I imagine this is probably going to go on and on forever because, my goodness, these inspiring stories, they are coming out of the woodwork lately to the point where I'm like, how are we ever going to get this thing done? It's like, we got to include that one too. And then this one too. So that's kind of my story. Maybe we'll jump in with Adam next. Adam, my good buddy from Carnivore today. How is it going?
It's going fantastic. I just had some McDonald's patties on the way back home from a high school football shoot. So still keeping it carnivore, even on the road.
Nice. Adam is a familiar face. Adam, could you tell, for those of us that don't know, well, maybe we first start out with this. What inspired you to join this documentary effort, to join this Healing Humanity team?
Well, I think it's kind of twofold. The one part is you and your passion behind the project and your desire to get the word out to everybody. And the other part was, my passion behind this way of eating because of all the things that it has actually healed with me. The list seems to be ever growing as time goes on. And I'm still amazed to this day at what it has done for me. And I can't, like you, I can't shut up talking about this. Like, other people need to know. And the great thing about it is it's so simple, right? Um, I never would have imagined that doing something so simple would have such a profound impact on my life. And, I have to get the word out about that. So
That's awesome. Yeah, Adam emailed me. I don't even remember how long ago it was. On day 67 of Carnivore, I said, I'm doing this documentary, and it was shortly after. And he said, I'll sweep the floors. I'll do whatever I can do to help you. And I am so thankful, grateful, blessed for Adam, for everyone here on the team. But I got to give credit where due. And we're finishing up this torch, this 9-minute prototype. I'm so happy with how it turned out. It looks incredible, and I got to give a lot of credit to Adam for that. A lot of it was his filming and his direction on that. It really brought everything to the next level. So huge shout out to Adam. So on that front, Adam, can you talk a little bit more about what you're doing on the team?
Absolutely. So it seems like I do a little bit of everything. Mainly, I try to provide creative effort with composition and lighting and ideas for different scenes and shots within the documentary. Try to be a help meet to carry and fill in, everywhere that I can that potentially he may not be able to go. I've been working on the membership site in the background as well. A lot of people haven't seen that stuff yet, which is absolutely going to be incredible for everybody. Can't wait for everybody to see that. We have more information about that later on in the stream. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of web work, working with our attorney a little bit on getting some forms and things like that together, and just really anything and everything that I can to help move this project forward. With as much, with all the free time that I have, I essentially dump into this. Obviously, my family's first, so I do take care of that. But so yeah, it's a little bit of everything.
Nice. And could you tell us, Adam, like maybe a brief, your health journey? How did you get here, and what has Carnivore done for you, or the proper human diet?
Absolutely. Well, where do I start? So I started for an autoimmune condition called vitiligo, which is, if people aren't familiar with that, essentially it is a condition where melanin in your skin isn't produced in certain areas and patches on your body. It doesn't hurt. And it started to get worse while I was on a vegan diet. And I, did a random search, look for solutions to it, because doctors say that, this is not something that you could likely help. It's, like many other things out there, it's kind of, shoot in the dark, see what works. And so I found Joe Rogan. He started reversing his vitiligo with a carnivore diet. I did a little bit of research after that, dove all in once I seen Dr. Ken Berry basically validating this way of eating, and was off to the races. 3 days in, plantar fasciitis was gone from 2 years. 5 months into it, a traumatic brain injury where I lost 10% of my brain function was completely healed. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Depression, anxiety, those things were resolved. Energy levels are through the roof. My business profits have doubled since becoming carnivore, which is another unexpected benefit. So, I mean, I could literally go on for days and days and days about all the benefits that I've had. But yeah, I'm anxious to hear a little bit more of everybody else's story.
That's awesome. With your business being more successful, that's been one of the incredible things. You probably heard it too, Adam. It's like the more people we've been filming for the documentary, whatever their level of success is, it always seems to go up on Carnivore. I always feel like I sound like I'm overhyping it, but I have heard that over and over and over again. It's like when you get that clarity of mind and you're able to make better decisions, everything just sort of falls into place that way. That's incredible.
Absolutely.
So, Adam has a wonderful YouTube channel too, by the way, Carnivore Today. There's a link in the description. Just did an awesome video with the good doctors on Ozempic. So everyone go check that one out. So we're going to hear more from Adam. Next, I want to talk to Lynn. But before that, everyone watching, you guys probably want to see this. We have our little teaser trailer. Again, a lot of new people on here. There's always new faces that maybe haven't seen this yet. It's just a couple minutes. So I'm going to share that with the group here now so you can get a little better idea what we're talking about with this documentary. And before I show that, I just wanted to say too, any super chats, memberships, things like that that come in, always on my channel go 100% towards the documentary. So we thank you for those. I see a couple coming in. I'm going to read those here in just a second. But first, here is a little teaser trailer so you can get a better understanding of what we're doing with this documentary. And everyone yell if the sound doesn't work. Hello, Carrie here from Healing Humanity. A proper human diet has changed my life forever. Not only am I down over 100 pounds since my heaviest, I also overcame depression and anxiety and many other issues. Now I'm going on a journey to help others do the same.
You know, I've been a doctor for nearly 30 years now.
We've all been misled for so long.
They gave me pills for anxiety. They gave me pills for depression.
Our bodies are so deficient and so malnourished that of course you're going to get diseases. Of course you're going to get sick.
I believe that I may have caused my cancer.
It is no way to live. It's a nightmare.
I was just so hopeless for so many years. It just kills me to know that the answer was out there the whole time.
The food that we're eating nowadays is simply not food. I mean, just because we put it in our mouths and we chew it and swallow it doesn't make it food.
We can sit back and we can say the bloody doctors, it's not their fault. They were trained and they're doing what they were trained to do.
The thing that really pisses me off is that the people that we should have been able to trust, the literal organizations that we look up to protect us, are the people who have done the majority of the misleading.
I'm 82 years old, which is just a chronological number. So you put the right fuel in the engine and the engine works.
I've now transitioned from a disease manager to a disease healer. I've transitioned from a drug dealer to a healer.
3 weeks ago, I didn't know this man, Bill, from Alaska. Bill is 700 pounds. He's been stuck in his house for 4 years. You nervous?
I'm nervous, scary. You know, I live in Alaska, the most incredible place on the planet. I had to have a toilet put, a few feet from my bed, which I can barely walk to as is. I have not been outside in over 4 years. This is life or death for me. I'm sorry, Gary. I'm sorry about that.
Here.
Man, thanks, dude. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Now, for the first time in a long, long time, I'm looking towards the future, which I've not had in such a long, long time. And it's just the most incredible feeling.
All right, so there you go. I'm getting really fired up watching that because a week from today, I will be back in Alaska filming Bill outside in the beauty of Alaska for the first time. I can't even wrap my brain around it right now. It seems like I remember when we left filming Bill, I'm like, this is going to be a tough year, but just watch. In retrospect, it's going to seem like it went by pretty quickly. Probably more so for me than Bill, but I can't believe it's been a year already. So I can't wait to do that. Getting lots of good comments coming through. I just wanted to read a few of these. Thank you guys so much. There's a whole bunch of new members here. Todd, Bible Reading Bear, Raymond, Who's Your Carnivore, Brett, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Gifted 5 Homestead Hall memberships. Carrie is a new member. We have $1.99 super chat. I'm new to the community, but I love it. Thank you so much for your support. Nia's Way. Thank you, Nia. $20 super sticker. Appreciate you. Nia has an incredible YouTube channel. If you guys aren't watching her as well, check out Nia's Way. She's actually going to be interviewing me about the documentary in a couple days before I head out to Alaska. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we got Pa Beater, member for 11 months, my 12th month this month. 192 pounds down, 9 days to go. Congratulations, Bob. That is awesome. So happy to hear that. All right. So next up, we have the wonderful Lynn, Midlife Carnivore. How's it going, Lynn?
Hey, it's going great. It's hard to follow that trailer, especially with Bill. So emotional.
Yeah, I can't wait to share the rest of the story. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, Bill is the greatest. Shout out to Bill real quick too before we jump into Lynn's story. If you guys aren't watching his channel, I'm always amazed every day. I get so many comments. How's that Bill guy doing? I'm like, just go watch his channel. He posts every Tuesday. He posted yesterday actually. He was a little off this week, but he posted an awesome video yesterday. So, Lynn, could you tell us what inspired you to join the Healing Humanity team and graciously volunteer a lot of your time to help with this documentary?
Well, I had never even heard of you and had no idea about the documentary. And I was one of those people that the first one in the carnivore community that I kind of met was JT. He, reached out to me. He was in his marathon of interviewing carnivores, and he, I was one of those, and he reached out and interviewed me on his channel. And then afterwards, backstage, he said, "Hey, you know what? I think you would be really helpful on the documentary team." And so he's the one who put me in contact. And I think part of it was because my illness had forced me into retirement from nursing. And I went through, it took 35 years to get a diagnosis for me, in and out of, different doctors. I had went to 17 different doctors over the course of my adult life and never got an accurate diagnosis. And so I have a passion for reforming things. And I know that there's problems in the healthcare system and there's a lack of knowledge when it comes to nutrition. And when I became carnivore and saw how amazingly it's healing my body, that just ramps up the passion for it. And so I'm super excited to be part of this team.
We're super excited to have you. I am so thankful with your background, with everything, and you've been such a passionate supporter, spending so much time. It was wonderful getting to meet you out in Austin as well, and your husband. Could you talk a little bit more, Lynn? Everyone's got to check out Lynn at Midlife Carnivore too, because you have an awesome YouTube channel and you're just continually transforming. It's amazing what you've done. Could you talk a little bit? You mentioned your diagnosis, but what was your health journey and what led you to carnivore?
So I didn't know my whole adult life that all of these symptoms that seemed to be disconnected they all had an underlying root cause, which was mast cell activation syndrome. And I'd been suffering with it my entire life to one degree or another, but everything really hit the fan back in spring of 22. And I was on permanent, well, it was supposed to be like permanent disability if I hadn't gotten better, but I was on total disability, and I had to stop nursing. And I had always, from the time I was in my early 20s on, I had started gaining weight. So I had my weight had ramped up, and I was, I think my highest was about 350 pounds. And so I was very desperate, and I was becoming even more and more disabled as time went on because I couldn't do anything. And with mast cell disease, I was very highly reactive to all sorts of things, throat swelling, lots of trips to the ER. Every body system basically had symptoms and was affected. So I was just laying around and getting worse and worse. And my husband recommended trying a carnivore diet. And so I did, and it was so transformative. My reactivity is down to practically zero. And I mean, it's healed my skin, it's healed my gut, it's healed my brain. I couldn't even think to work before, couldn't even speak. It's healed every organ of my body that was affected. And I've lost a little over 100 pounds so far. So I've been doing that for 14 months, and it's just been incredible. I actually have a life, and I can honestly say my life since the early adulthood has been a struggle. And so I feel like this is the first time I can remember as an adult that I actually feel like I have a life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you went in this to heal specific things, but it sounds like you had other things heal that you didn't even really maybe think about, brain fog or mental issues, things like that.
Yeah, I didn't know what all it could heal. And I had been on the carnivore diet for 6 weeks back in 2021. And at that time, I thought it was just for weight loss. I really didn't know until over a year later when I went out again that weight loss is a happy side effect. And I didn't go on it for weight loss the second time. I went on it out of absolute sheer desperation because my life was nothing. And yeah, so it healed me. It healed my brain and everything from there down. It's the healing ability of eating this way, it blows my mind. And the more I learn about it, and the more I see the effects of it in my own body, the more I think about the healthcare career that I came out of, in the field that I came out of. And I feel like I can help people by sharing about the proper way of eating, and give them things that I could not give them as a nurse, which is hope and true healing, not just a pill or a Band-Aid, but actual true healing.
Do you get frustrated at all, Lynn, knowing that you know this now and there's so many people out there suffering and it's like, this is it, but it's kind of hard to convey to people?
Extremely frustrating. And especially since the last 7 years of my nursing career, I worked in gastroenterology and hepatology, and everything in the GI world is about fiber, fruits, vegetables, whole grains. And we have people that are suffering. And I know now that I know what I know, like, if I could have gone back, of course I would have been fired because I would have been telling them to stop eating all of those things. But it's sad for me to think that there's people that aren't responding to treatment, or the treatments themselves have a lot of side effects. And, they're still struggling, even though they're getting treatment. But it's because it's really not addressing the underlying root cause. So it is very frustrating.
Yeah. Well, I love how you keep saying the word root cause, because I think that is the root cause is the root cause is I keep finding myself repeating that more and more as we do this documentary and dig into it more. That was my biggest issue with every health problem I've ever had. It was just not addressing the root cause. And now afterwards, it seems pretty clear, pretty simple, but it's kind of hard when you're in the moment, kind of in that fog. But Lynn, could you talk a little bit more about what you're doing on the Healing Humanity team?
Yeah, well, it's kind of evolving as time goes on because the needs change. So when I first came on, it was really diving into the huge database of applicants, watched everybody's videos, organized, assigned people to categories. And then as we went on, narrowing down people, compiling an interview team. We've got 2 of the people from the interview team here. Not everybody's here today. Our team is actually bigger than this, but not everyone's here. But compiling an interview team and reaching out and doing some behind the scenes interviews just to learn people's stories. And with the understanding that the documentary is step 1, like you mentioned, that we're going to have a series. And so not everybody is going to make the documentary, but we want to hear the stories so that we can have those in our toolkit for when it comes time to do the series. I'm also working very closely with Adam and Lindy, who could not make it today, on a new membership site for Healing Humanity, which we are going to talk about, and I'll let Adam talk more about that. And then also, just on the side, I have teamed up with another carnivore who I officially met in Texas. I met her through Rebecca. Her name is Amy. And we connected when we were down in Texas. I went out to lunch with her in Austin, and we found out we have a lot of creativity between the 2 of us. We both have already published a lot of books, and I've published coloring books on Amazon, and we put team together to create a book. So I figured it'd be a good time to share this book.
Yeah, and actually Amy's here, so I'm going to bring Amy on the
stage. Yes. So
Hello, Amy. Welcome.
There's Amy. And oh, I love you've got the Healing Humanity background. That's awesome. So Amy has an amazing story too. She's in her healing journey with Carnivore as well. She is part of Dr. Barry's group, very, very active in Dr. Barry's group. But we created this book. This is a combination comic book, coloring book, activity book for kids. It's very positive, and it is something to help introduce kids. And the beef, bacon, butter, and eggs are little superheroes. And it's to give parents something that they can help introduce their children to the power of the proper human diet.
It's wonderful. I started the book out. I have a link in the description for it too, if anyone's interested in learning more.
Yeah, and part of the proceeds of this book are going to go towards the documentary project. So if you want to, definitely give money to the GoFundMe, send Carrie, money through the super chats. But if you want to have another way to help support the documentary and also have something in your hands that you can use as a teaching tool for children, your grandchildren, this is a good way of, you can buy the book. It's on Amazon.
I would say also, if you don't have any kids to buy it for, buy one and put it in your local library. Donate it to the library.
Good idea.
Amy, why were you so passionate that you wanted to create this book? Why is this important to you?
Because my story starts in early childhood. My mom put me on my first diet when I was 8. I'm sure that really developed a great metabolism for me, but I'm kidding. I'm being sarcastic. But every year she put me on a major diet every year, and she had people around the town watch. I lived at the time a small town. She had people watch and call her if I was cheating. And when I was in school, all the kids, I would be eating baked chicken and green beans, and they're asking, can I have your chicken for my ding dongs? I'm like, I'm not stupid. Of course I'll trade you. And then I would get in trouble, So it's just important for kids to know. I watch how many kids are more overweight now. I was the only overweight kid in my class for a long time by, maybe 40 or 50 pounds, but that's a lot when you're 8, 9, 10 years old. And so I just have a passion to let kids know the truth. I also have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It's a connective tissue disorder. And I have POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. You can ask Rebecca. My list of how many things are wrong with me is vast. I was having to use an electric wheelchair so that I could go to places, even go to church. 2 months in on Carnivore, I put my wheelchair in storage because I didn't need it anymore.
Wow.
That's amazing. Wow. Y'all have no idea. I couldn't even stand up long enough to scramble an egg when I first started. I was so ill. And, so now I have a lot of issues that I will always deal with, but my overall head to toe pain is better. I don't dislocate my joints and subluxes. What happens with EDS? I don't do that as often, maybe 2 or 3 times a week instead of 2 or 3 times a day. Just some incredible healing. I can't even begin to tell you how many things are better. The best thing is my depression, though. Because I can think clear. I've been wondering, why is my depression so much better? I think because I can think clear. So when a problem comes up, I can think through the problem instead of feeling stuck. And I have the energy now to help solve my own problems. My quality of life has been awful for a long time. And, so like with Bill, I get it. I get not being able to get up and go do things. I live in Texas and I hardly ever go out inside in the summer because it's ridiculous. So it's, I can relate. I used to could handle the heat, So we won't talk about getting old, how that plays into it. But I love the fact that I can do the book, especially with Lynn, because kids need to know, and they need to know when they're little, and be able to tell their friends and help their friends. And I think it's a real gift that God has given us to really be able to learn the truth about what we need to be as healthy as we can be. So in my particular case, I'm a missionary so that I can go and serve him I came to the point I couldn't do that anymore. And so I'm getting ready to sell my house and move into a van and go do missions work. And that's just really awesome. So it's helped a lot.
That's wonderful. Amy, when you were at your worst, did you ever imagine that you would come this far, or did you just think, well, this is just the way life's always going to be going forward?
100% thought it was just how life is going to be, because Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, osteogenesis imperfecta, which is another very rare disorder. You break your bones with that one, mainly the type I have, hands and feet. But there's no cure. There's really no treatment. You can wrap an ACE bandage around something. I don't want to take pain medication. I have mast cell like Lynn. I have reactions to it. So that makes me even worse. I'd rather hurt. It's just, I'm single. I don't have any kids, and I really don't have support around me. And so it was just it was the kind of life that if I had the energy to go to the grocery store and there wasn't a close enough place to park, or there wasn't a cart for me to use, I would have to go home. And that's pretty bad. It makes you feel pretty hopeless. But this is the most hopeful I've ever been in my entire life right now. And I cannot even express how that feels. It's just, it's amazing. It's amazing.
That is wonderful. I absolutely love this book. I did a community post on it before. Someone was just asking in the chat. I made sure I had the link in the description. I just double checked and I posted it again. I'm going to post it in the chat here too. If all else fails too, you could just search on Amazon for Superhuman Power Foods for Humanity. But the link is in the description and I just put it in the chat. And I think this is so important. When initially I wanted to do this documentary for some of the reasons Amy mentioned: depression, anxiety, mental health issues. It's rampant in the world right now. But the other reason I'm so passionate about the documentary is because of this, the next generation of kids that are coming up. I was really sick for so long and I ate pretty darn bad, but I don't eat anywhere nearly as bad as this next generation is. It's like the ultra processed generation walking around with Starbucks just full of sugar, and it's getting worse and worse. So this is so important. It's so well done too. I absolutely love it. So there's a link in the description and in the comments as well. Amy, is there anything else you wanted to shout out besides the book, or I don't know if you're doing any other things on social media where people can find you?
I do have a website called Genes That Don't Fit. Genes as in genetic genes, and no apostrophe. GenesThatDon'tFit.net. And that talks about Ehlers-Danlos and POTS. And that's the number one thing that I want to get to that community, that your POTS can get better, your Ehlers can get better. Dr. Barry told me he was talking to Sean Baker the other day, and that he had mentioned some of his EDS patients and how much better they are. And it's just not something that we're told in that group. You're told, well, good luck, I think too, the other thing I want to say, if you can't find it by putting in Superhuman Foods, either type my name in on Amazon or Lynn's name and it will come up. And please, if you get a book, leave a review. It's not for Lynn and I, it's so that more people will see the book when they go in to look for Carnivore. So make sure to do that. But I would love to talk more sometime about my mental health issues. I had some very traumatic things as a young child with medical issues. And it's just, it's just something that people need help with, especially kids. If they're the more unhealthy the kids are, the more medical things they're going to have to go through, and the more it's going to traumatize them. It's not just about losing. I've been heavy my entire life. I've lost 40 pounds. This is the third time in my adulthood that I've even reached this number of weight. And whatever reason, and I'm a little bit stuck right now, but I'm assuming that that will be moving on. But anyway, it's just a good opportunity to teach as much as you can and talk. I would have never told anybody I was on a diet ever. I meet strangers and I try to think of a reason to bring it up. And I tell everybody about Carnivore.
Yeah.
It's great.
Me too. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us, Amy. And I just want to say one last thing. If you want to help too with this and get the word out, and you don't have any kids in your life, share it on Facebook, share it with your friends, get the word out there that this is available for people. And that will really, that's a free way that you can help people. That will really go a long way. So thank you so much, Amy, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. And Amy and I are continuing to collaborate on more books. So this is the first of many books, but this one is near and dear to my heart because it is, you know, it's to help with the fundraising for the documentary. And yeah.
It's awesome. Thank you so much, Lynn. I really appreciate you. Lynn has been a vital part of the team. One of the big things that I'm so excited for is she mentioned, but we have so many people that are submitting their stories or that have submitted their stories, and they keep on coming in. And Lynn has been pivotal in helping go through all of those. In fact, a big part of our documentary is going to be Mimi's story, who's been on my channel before. And that would not have happened without Lynn. Well, Mimi would not be in the documentary without Lynn. And she's a huge
and Rebecca.
Yeah. Yeah. So huge thanks to Lynn. Check out the book, link in the description, link in the comments, share it if you can. Adam, before we jump on over to Robin, do you want to touch real quick and talk a little bit about what the team has been working on, yourself included, in terms of the membership site?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have been working on a membership site, as a couple of people have alluded to, and we're really excited about this because the documentary is one thing, right? So we're going to be able to help hopefully millions and millions of people with the documentary and the series that follows. Let me rewind a little bit, Carrie. So we actually, Lynn has so gracefully and graciously put together some articles on the healinghumanity.movie website that goes into detail about each health topic that we're going to touch in the documentary. So we wanted people to get a quick win with these health topics. Carrie, you started this with the cancer subject with Jeff DeProsperous and his protocol and things that he's going through right now. Lynn has expanded upon that and done essentially every other topic that we're going to talk about in the documentary. So everybody go to healinghumanity.movie to check those things out, to, you know, potentially kickstart your health journey in those areas. If you need help now, or send us a message and, you know, we can try to help out in that way as well. So, and then we have the documentary coming and the series, and then we need somewhere for everybody to go once the documentary is out to continue their health journey, to connect with others that eat this way, because chances are you probably don't have a lot of people around you that, you know, eat like a lion and a tiger. So it's good to have people you know, that you can confide in, that you can talk to and share things with, and, you know, share your successes, learn things from. So we decided to start this membership website as a repository or a bucket for people to go to drive deeper in their health journey. So we're actively working on that right now. And today we are actually going to throw out a coupon code that folks can enter in. The first 100 people that enter this coupon code for the website will have at least 30 days free access to our under construction website to try to help us test things out and give us feedback on this so that we can officially launch in a month or two. So part of the offering that we're going to have with the membership site is it's a social network, just like Facebook, very secure. We're not going to share anybody's information anywhere. We're not taking money from advertisers or anything like that to directly access members. One of the things that we are going to offer, in addition to the social network, is weekly Zoom calls. So right now we have slated to tentatively have 3 Zoom calls a week. One's going to be Q&A with Carrie, myself, other members of our team, for people to ask questions, get answers, and drive deeper in their health journey. The next one is going to be one that we call Inspire Together, where folks can get on and share their non-scale victories or their scale victories, or just share a good word and connect with others on a Zoom call. And then the third one is going to be an expert Q&A. So we're going to bring in experts. We've had a couple of the experts so far confirmed that they will regularly attend these meetings. We still have to reach out to several others to make sure that that happens. So as a third leg to what we're going to offer in the membership site to help people is courses. So we are actively receiving courses in currently. Lynn is working on this a great deal right now and getting this stuff organized, getting course material organized, uploaded, quizzes, content, and things like that, so that these courses will be offered for free as part of the membership. And I think, right, Lynn, what is it? We have 4 courses now, or 5?
Well, we have quite a few that are in the process. We have a handful. Yeah, we have right now just 2 that are, I'd say 99% done and almost ready to go. We've got the foundations course that it's going to be, coming out hopefully soon. And then we have several. I know Nia's working on a course. We have several other people that are working on some great courses. So I'm honestly also looking for people who want to create a course. And you don't have to be a doctor. I mean, we are looking at wanting courses that will just help improve your life in all aspects of health. And sometimes it may be like Nia's doing one that has to do with exercise and yoga. And it may be something that is, relaxation or a hobby that's very healthy and something that might help people to have good, well-rounded quality of life. So if you are out there listening and you're like, oh, hey, I have something I could teach people that has benefited my health, reach out. You can send me an email, lynn@healinghumanity.movie, and I will give you our course guidelines and work with you on getting a course created. So that's an exciting part of the site. And also I just wanted to kind of piggyback on what you're saying about this group that we're looking for. I don't know. Do you want to go ahead and give out the coupon code, Adam?
You can go ahead and do that if you want.
Okay. And then maybe one of you guys can type, maybe Carrie, you can type it. So it's HHB1. It's basically our first beta test group. So HHB1. The coupon code is open to the first 100 people who use it, and then it's not going to be usable anymore. So we would like you to, if you're going to use the coupon code, be available and willing to provide us feedback, because we're still working out some of the kinks with the site. And so we want you to be able to tell us and communicate with us if you try to click something and it's not working, or the functionality is not what you thought it would be. Please let us know. So if you're willing to do that, and also load it up with content. It's just like if you've ever started a new Facebook group and it's empty, there's nothing there. We want you to load it up with content. Use the site. And so if that sounds appealing to you, use the code HHB1, and I don't know, Carrie, if you want a link to the actual membership site for them so that they'll know where to go to use that code. It will not charge you any money.
Yep. I just did that. I did it twice. So the second one has the link and the code in it.
Awesome. Yeah. So I don't think we actually said what the website is. So
right.
It's healinghumanity.life. So Healing Humanity Life is actually the website name. And I think that's very appropriate. We're here to promote life and health and happiness. And that's the URL. So healinghumanity.movie for the movie, healinghumanity.life for the membership site. Now, there's something that people need to know before they go to that. If the code doesn't work, that means it's closed down. All 100 people have already used it up, and there is no more. So the website is open to take actual payments. So if you put your credit card information in there, it will actively charge you. So if you're not ready to do something like that, hold off until we do an actual launch. And we'll let everybody know. We'll have a special announcement, special streams and things like that in order to announce the official launch.
Yeah. So one code per person, it's one use per one use per user and 100 people. So yeah, so Adam's right. If you go in and use it, that means, and it doesn't work, that means 100 people have already used it.
Absolutely.
That's
All
wonderful.
right.
So there's a link in the chat, and then I also just put it into the description of this video. So check it out there as well. Really excited for that. It's going to be awesome. I've been
So
playing
Rick
around
says
with
the site is broken.
I just went there and it worked fine for me.
Yeah, it's working fine for me.
Healinghumanity.life.
Healinghumanity.life.
Yep, it's
And he
working.
also said I love iguanas. So which one do we go with here?
Let's go with the I love iguanas.
Yeah, we'll go with I love iguanas. Awesome.
Rick,
Thank you, Adam.
Rick's
Thank you,
code
Lynn.
is quack quack.
Right.
You get the special code.
So that link is in the description below. We got another super chat. Thank you so much. Layla Rain says, hello from South Arkansas, age 61, carnivore for 5 months, down 30 pounds. That's 3 10-pound bowling balls.
Wow.
Feeling great. No more migraines, joint pain, kidney stones, etc. Thank you so much, Layla, for the super chat, and congratulations. That is awesome. Just wait, Layla. It gets better and better. Month 5 is pretty awesome. And the kidney stones, I had kidney stones before doing carnivore, and I know that pain. I'm glad to hear you're free from that. So thank you so much for the super chat and sharing that. Really appreciate it. Up next, we have my good friend, the awesome, the wonderful Robin Heron, Carnivorous Grandma. How's it going, Robin?
It's going good, Carrie. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here tonight.
I'm so happy to have you here. And for those of you that don't know, Robin is a bit of a celebrity in that she has been filmed for the documentary Healing Humanity, the documentary or the series afterwards. We filmed Robin while we were down in Austin, and it was incredible. She's been on my channel before. She has her own wonderful YouTube channel, link in the description for that as well. Robin, what inspired you to join the Healing Humanity project we're working on here?
So last summer, I had been on carnivore for maybe I started in February 22nd, 2023. In the summertime, I saw this crazy guy climbing on a pergola. And I was like, who is this guy? What is he up to? I was so intrigued by the fact that you were climbing on the pergola and you were like trying to do these pull-ups. And I was like, this guy's crazy. I was so intrigued. But I started watching your channel, Carrie, and your enthusiasm for the carnivore diet was so contagious. And I just saw how passionate you were about getting the message out to other people. So basically, when I started carnivore, I knew that I was going to start a YouTube channel. And so I had started recording some video, but I didn't post anything. But you were like, if you're on carnivore, you need to start a YouTube channel today.
Sorry about that.
And I was just intrigued. And I love that enthusiasm. And so as soon as I found out that you were working on the carnivore diet documentary, which is what it was called for a long time back then, I knew that I wanted to be part of it. I'm very passionate about getting this message out to the world, and to everybody, because I feel like the medical community, our nutrition guidelines, everything, of course, we know is backwards and upside down, and it's really problematic because people are dying from diseases that can be healed with a proper human diet, and it's just ridiculous, And what we're being told is that that these diseases are chronic and incurable, like type 2 diabetes, which we now know can 100% be cured, and like really quick with a proper human diet. So I was very enthused about becoming part of the team. And I was like, Adam, I was like, whatever I can do. And we didn't have Lynn there at the time. So, she's kind of gotten us all gathered together. She gathered us up, right, and got us kind of moving really, really well. So I joined the team, and I started as part of the crew that was looking through all of our submissions, and watching videos, looking at all the people who have submitted their request to be part of the documentary. And so, I just really was like, whatever I can do, and I'm still like that, whatever I can do. I still have a day job. So, so I'm a busy person, but whatever time I can carve out to be a part of this amazing effort that is definitely going to change millions and millions of lives. I'm so happy to be part of the team.
Well, we're so happy and blessed to have you on the team. I'm
Absolutely.
getting kind of emotional now just looking around this whole team, because initially it was like, yeah, we're just going to do this carnivore diet documentary. Honestly, I really kind of foolishly went into this like, yeah, we'll just figure it out, like whatever. Now we have this incredible team. I always tell people, you really have to, these are all volunteers, folks that have their own jobs, they have their own thing they're doing. That what is their motivation? Why are they doing this? Why are they so passionate about this that they're giving up their free time, and they're dedicating their free time either on their own YouTube channel or here to this documentary to do this? It's really some awesome, good people we have on our team here. I'm so thankful for all of you. And Robin, you're a grandma too, which is still just blows my mind. You look absolutely amazing. You don't look like the typical grandma. You don't look like my grandma.
Yeah, I'm a grandma of 11 grandchildren.
Wow.
I have 4 kids, all grown, and my grandchildren range from age 17 down to getting ready to turn 2 this fall. So yeah, 11 of them. That's a whole boatload. So I'm really excited about the book that we just saw. And Lynn and Amy that worked on that amazing book. I think the key is, and as Amy was talking about it, as children, we develop all these relationships with food. We develop these disordered thinking about food. We develop our addictions to food. And so it's so key to get the kids young. I remember what she was saying was, I was the only fat kid in my class. And that was the way it used to be. It was rare for kids to be overweight. And now, I just was listening to somebody talking about kids being on CPAPs. My mind was blown. I'm like, kids on CPAPs, how crazy is that? So it's so important that we get them early. I talk to my kids, my grandkids, because I'm not in control of their food, right? But what I tell them is, if you ever get sick from anything, if you're sick, go on a carnivore way of eating. Go carnivore. Some of them are like, well, can I be a carnivore when I grow up? And I'm like, yes, you can.
Your grandma's favorite grandchild now too.
I'm gonna give them some bacon. I'm gonna give them some meat. Matter of fact, I had a couple of them over last weekend, and the mom was like, well, should I send some snacks? I'm like, no, I'm just gonna give them some meat instead of a Pop-Tart. I'm gonna give them some meat, So they know that I'm a carnivore, and some of them really want to be a carnivore too.
That's so cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Robin. Robin has an awesome YouTube channel, like I said, link in the description. You had a big trip down to like the Disney area with a bunch of your family and the grandkids and stuff.
Yes.
Your YouTube channel is awesome. I really enjoy watching it. I watch all these YouTube channels, by the way. I don't know, but Robin's got a great one as well. So thank you so much, Robin, for everything you're doing. Really appreciate you.
Thanks, Carrie. I really appreciate you. I appreciate the whole team. And like I said, this documentary is going to change millions of lives. And I'm so excited to be whatever little small part that I can play. I'm so excited to be part of it.
Thank you so much. It's a big part. And your story's in it, which I'm so excited to share with everybody. And when you say this is going to reach millions of people, it used to get me like nervous, like this is a lot of pressure. It doesn't anymore, because I really believe it's going to reach millions of people, because it's bigger than me. It doesn't have anything to do with me. It's Robin's story. It's Jeff DeProsperous and his story. It's Bill's story. These stories are so important. And I think they're really going to inspire a lot of people. So thank you so much, Robin.
Welcome.
let's see here. We got a Bob Eater, $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Bob. Really appreciate it. Great interview with Chris and Ash and Robin.
So I interviewed Chris Cooking Nashville and his wife Ash today.
Nice.
So you guys should go watch that video because they sang at the end 2 songs. We had a whole
way. Everyone go check that out. You've had some great interviews on your channel. Robin had Dr. Barry and Nisha. I think that's the only time I've ever seen that. You had both of them on your channel. It was an awesome interview.
Yeah, one of my key things that I really want to focus on is, I mean, of course, the word needs to get out to everybody, but there's a particular group of people that's close to my heart, you know, and for the African American community, this message is not, it's not propagating as it should. And so I want to make sure that for my part, and I really feel like a calling to do this, like all of you, I'm sure do, right?
Yeah.
Feel a calling from God to talk about this because I feel like he's revealing himself through ways of eating. He's telling us that this food that we're eating, that's not food. Just because you put it in your mouth, chew it up and swallow it, is not food, just like Dr. Chafee said. You know, and we need to get back to eating real food. Now, not everybody needs to be a carnivore. I need to be a carnivore because of the issues that I have. But some people can eat vegetable. Some people can eat a little bit of fruit, and they'll be okay with that. That doesn't work for me. But proper human diet is a spectrum, and it goes from low carb, keto, carnivore, ketovore, carnivore, lion diet, and all of that is within the spectrum of a proper human diet. And so eat real food. And that's what I want to tell people. And so that's why I started my channel. Carrie, you really encouraged me to do that. And to get the message out here that you need to stop eating all this ultra processed food, highly palatable, tastes delicious. You're so addicted to it. You need to get rid of the sugar and eat real food.
I love it. That's one of my favorite quotes from Dr. Barry when I interviewed him. At the end of it, he's like, it's simple. I'm just saying, eat this real food. Stop eating this fake food. That's it. I'm like, it really is that simple. But that's awesome. Thank you so much, Robin.
You're welcome. Thanks, Carrie.
Before we jump on over to Rebecca, I want to give a huge shout out, not only to all the volunteers on this team that are just amazing, but the community. My goodness, some of the folks in the chat. We got Polish Mike in here right now. We've got, oh my goodness, Who's Your Carnivore? We got my buddy Lash just jumped on. I'm going to miss so many people. I shouldn't start naming them. Charger Mopar Rick is always in the comments. Susan Hampton, Aunt B. Oh my goodness. All these people over and over again, not just coming on and commenting, but actually helping people. Papa Carnivore, huge shout out to Papa Carnivore. People coming on to these videos that have legitimate questions, and they're answering these questions, and they're being supportive, and they're helping each other. It's amazing. I feel bad now because there's probably so many more people I'm missing. Just Susie's Thoughts, Carnivore Ron, so many people.
Ribeye Ranger,
Lynn Tucker Carnivore, my favorites. You guys are all awesome. Thank you so much. And one more shout out too, real quick. I got to shout out my buddy Bill. I just saw this comment come through from Barbara. I found the carnivore diet from a video of Bill and Carrie together. They gave me hope. I owe them my life, really. Huge shout out to Bill. This guy is too hard on himself sometimes, but when I interviewed Bill for the documentary, there's new people that have jumped on. I'm going to interview Bill again in a week. It's going to be 1 year that he's been on carnivore. And one of the things he was saying is, what is my purpose in life? I'm stuck in this house for 5 years. Well, I think he's realizing his purpose now, and I'm trying to get this across to him. I had a woman come into this movie theater about 2 weeks ago, and she told me that she saw a Bill Knott video, and it saved her life. That is your purpose now, Bill. You are a lifesaver. Now, here's another one from Barbara that saw your video, and it's like, Bill is the definition of inspiration, in my opinion. If Bill can do it, you can do it. Bill is absolutely knocking it out of the park. And then Barbara followed up with this comment. Losing her first 100 pounds. She hit that mark last weekend, still crying over it. Congratulations, Barbara. That is awesome. And Bill Knott, I hope you're watching this and realize, I don't think he realizes, when you guys are on his channel, give him some love. I don't think no matter how many times I'm like, all of these people are seeing your story. They're getting inspired. They're changing their lives forever. You're putting them on a path to healing. Like, what greater calling is that? He's such an inspiration. So one more super chat from Lash, $5 super chat, sending love to everyone. Thank you so much. Did a video with Lash maybe a month or two ago. He has an incredible, inspiring story as well, and been a great member of the community, always leaving good comments also. All right, Rebecca, how's it going? It's your, oh wait, before I jump to Rebecca, hello Susan, hello Todd, welcome. How's it going, guys?
Howdy.
Welcome.
Hey guys.
How are you guys?
We're awesome members of the team.
Good.
Wow, we got a big group on here. Rebecca was a little bit nervous. Everyone give Rebecca some love. Rebecca is awesome.
Hey, Rebecca.
Is incredible. Rebecca doesn't need to be nervous. Rebecca owns. You are amazing. So could you tell us a little bit what inspired you to join the Healing Humanity documentary team amongst all the other things you're doing? Because you're a coach with Dr. Barry. That probably keeps you pretty busy. You're a registered nurse. You got a lot of stuff going on.
I do have a lot of stuff going on. So I'm Rebecca, Coach Becca over in Dr. Barry's community. I've been given the title of Assistant Production Manager, and I'll explain that in a minute. I'm a registered nurse and health coach by trade, and I'm pursuing my master's in nursing also. That classes start back up in October. I hold a bachelor's in nursing and also a bachelor's of fine arts. And I kind of started my proper human diet journey back in 2018 with keto because I had debilitating, well, I still have autoimmune issues, but they were very debilitating at the time. And I've kind of gone from not being able to do my job as a mom and my husband having to take over kind of not only my job, but his job as well. And I was obese and I was on antidepressants and BP meds, anti-anxiety meds, pain management. And now, well, then it took me into being a productive member of society. And I went back to school to get my bachelor's in nursing and went back to work. And after seeing how much like the PhD can actually heal, my family eventually came on board. So we're all on the PhD spectrum. Both my autistic twins are on a ketogenic diet as well. And I began to do a lot of research and studying to kind of figure out like, why is this working? Why are people healing? And I just started getting like certifications. So a certified ketogenic nutrition specialist, certified primal health coach, and then decided to pursue my master's in nursing because I'm a hospice nurse by trade, and everything that my patients are dying from are diseases that can be prevented or reversed if you catch them and get people on a proper human diet and get them to stop eating the junk and the processed foods. So that's kind of like how I got into getting my master's. And I was super fortunate to go to KetoCon last year and met some really amazing people, including Teresa, which is one of the other PhD coaches. And she was like, let's go over to Dr. Barry's group because I'm one of his coaches, and met Dr. Barry and Nisha, and it kind of just snowballed like kind of from there. And I was like, I'm going to go back and get my master's. And then I was invited to be a coach in their group. And then at the same time, I was like, what, they're doing a documentary? And I was like, yes, I want to be a part of it. So basically what I do is I assist the lovely production manager, which is Lynn, in doing anything that really needs to be done. So I've done research and development, and I've interviewed people, and I go through people's records and see what they have, see what they've healed, and listen to their stories, and then help really Lynn with whatever she needed, whatever she needs. And I got to introduce the trailer at the Low Carb Cruise with Dr. Tony Hampton, which was super exciting, and I was super nervous. But yeah, I just kind of do anything that Lynn needs me to do. And just work in the background doing research and looking at things. And that's basically what I do. I'm still taking coaching clients and doing school, and my kids are seniors this fall. And yeah, just doing all the things. So yeah. And I'll be at Keto Palooza. So anybody who is going to Keto Palooza in Louisville here in 2 months, come find me. You'll see me somewhere around Dr. Barry's community helping out with their stuff.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Rebecca is awesome. I'm so thankful you're on the team and everything you're doing. And you really went out of your comfort zone with Dr. Hampton on the cruise and showed our thing and got up and spoke in front. And it was awesome. I get chills watching that. I'm a huge advocate for coaching as well. I used to be more cynical. I was like, well, you just eat meat. What's the big deal? But this has profoundly changed my life and everyone on here, their lives forever. And we're living in a world where we're kind of the weird ones out. And so coaching is such a vital part for that reason. People have legitimate concerns and questions, and you probably shouldn't start a proper human diet until you get those questions answered. Going through a coach like Dr. Barry's group or someone like Rebecca, having them on your side, like, could save your life. I can't imagine if I never found Carnivore where I would be. And if coaching was able to get me to that next step, it'd be worth all the money in the world for me. And most of these coaches, you don't hardly have to pay anything for. It's like Dr. Barry's group is really not very expensive at all, especially for what you're getting out of it. So huge shout out, Rebecca. Thank you so much for everything. Awesome. Now we got our good friend, Carnivore brother, Ashley. Ashley, how's it going?
Hey, it's going great. Going great. Happy to be here. It's super excited. Super excited.
Ashley, what inspired you to join the Healing Humanity team?
I guess, well, the easy answer is you, but yeah, no, it was funny because from the beginning in your 30-day video and beyond, inspired me. Just started my carnivore healing path a couple months probably before you. And I still remember watching when Emma suggested, hey, we should do a documentary. And you're like, yeah, we should do a documentary. And so, I've been cheerleader behind the scenes on that ever since you started that. And like Robin, had no intention of creating a YouTube channel, but when you said create YouTube channels, I went and created a YouTube channel. I called my brother Rhett and I said, we're doing a channel. We're doing it. We're going to get in there and we're going to be part of this group on the documentary. And so it's thankfully it snowballed from there. I feel super blessed to be part of the team, and just had an amazing experience meeting you guys and being together in Austin, and hopefully that kicked it to a new level. But I'm telling you, my big why, I'll get into the why for my carnivore journey in a minute, but my big why with the Healing Humanity documentary is the community, because like you said, the community is awesome. I want to be a big part of it. I want to help spearhead that in any way. I know there's not just the online community, but the in-person meetups and the community where we're meeting up in various parts of the country. And Rhett and I were fortunate to go to one of your very first meetups in Chicago, and that just got us inspired. And I've seen how effective it is when you actually meet other people in person. And we've got a lot of the meetups. So as you guys continue to interview people and travel all over the country, which you're doing, we're going to be doing more meetups and hopefully use some of that as some fundraising opportunities for the documentary, because and hopefully I can be a part of that. I know we did a big one in Austin, and I plan on doing more of those in the future where we can help raise some additional funds through these meetups. And then the people who come to the meetups are super inspired. I mean, it's worth every penny because it's such an incredible experience. And so we love it. I love it. And that's exactly why I wanted to be part of the team and help, like Robin said, help in any way I can. Whatever you need, I'm there, and whatever the team needs, we're going to get it done. And I'm so inspired by this movement that I'm 100% in. I've even started a coaching certificate that I'm working on behind the scenes, the course that I'll take for a while, just because, again, I just want to become more knowledgeable to help others as we further ourselves in this journey. And I love it.
Well, we love you, Ashley. I can't thank you enough for being on the team. You really, in Austin, Ashley arranged our big meetup dinner and knocked it out of the park like that. I
Yeah,
some of
that
my
was awesome.
fondest memories from this whole carnivore journey were from that night. It was incredible. And you put it all together. It was flawless. Like, it was perfect. And it helped raise funds for the documentary. It was very expensive for us to go film out in Austin. So we were able to recoup some of those funds as well because of it. So it was a huge part. And you just cooked some incredible food for us
Yes.
while we were out there, along with Who's Your Carnivore, Brett, who's in the chat right now. You kept us fed. Like, talk
Yep.
about filling in wherever you could. And then on top of it, you got like a third title, Ashley the Grip. He came along with us to Pastor Jimmy and Annette, who are a big part of the documentary, and helped us set everything up and all of the lights and the gear and everything and get it in and out of there. And that was a huge blessing as well, because it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. He made it a lot easier. So could you just tell us real quick,
Yes.
Ashley, a little bit about your carnivore story, your journey to healing?
Yeah, for sure. The quick version is I'm passionate about the healing for type 2 diabetes. That was my big why. Really knew nothing about it before I was diagnosed with it. Didn't even know the severities of it and things like that. I've learned a lot since, but the quick version of this is, I mean, it can be reversed, it can be healed. And I like to tell people it's easy if you just eat the right food. And that's the hard part for a lot of people. But, diabetes is so rampant right now. And even in going back to the children's book, in the youth and the things that we're doing, seeing in kids now, that it shouldn't be that way. And so the education since becoming carnivore and learning sugar, I was talking to, I can't shut up about it when I'm talking to people. And so there's a gentleman I was talking with today, and he was like, yeah, well, I'm eating this and it says no sugar. And it's like, yeah, well, wait a second. That doesn't mean no sugar. So there's a sugar substitute in there. Here it is right here. And so, just reading labels and helping people, because there's just a lack of understanding out there and how detrimental it is to our health. And for those of us who have, a body that, especially has been hurting for so many years, it takes a long time to heal that. And then all of a sudden on the carnivore diet, I saw it reversing so quickly. It blew me away. That's really my story. I've reversed my type 2 diabetes. My last blood work, I was 5.2, so not considered type 2 diabetic anymore. I've never been on medications. I don't plan to be. And I just want to continue to share that message. Love what Ken Berry's doing with the American Diabetes Society and a lot of the other messages that are going out there. So whatever way I can support it through this documentary, through stories, through communities, that's what I'm in for sure. Love it. And if I need to sweep the floor, Carrie, I'm sweeping the floors. You name it.
Right. How is your dad doing?
Dad's doing great. I was with him this morning. We had we go to a Bible study on Saturday mornings together with his group, about 30 men. And I just love being with that group. I feel like I'm in a room full of wisdom, but and there's several of them that have started carnivore because of us and our example in there with that ripple effect. So it's great, but he's doing great. He's super energized, and he probably won't shut up more about it than I will. So he's talks about it to everybody, and he's usually, hey, here's my son. Let me tell you about it. So, he's fun.
That's wonderful. That's one of my favorite memories from the 24-hour live stream. Ashley sent in a video, his carnivore testimony, with you and Rhett and your dad in getting into the old Boy Scout uniform.
Yes.
And he was so excited about things. It's pretty awesome.
It was fun.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Ashley, you got a big meetup coming up soon, right?
Yes, and you put it on there, and it's Nia's in the comments. So I was fortunate to meet Nia when we were down in Austin too. Realized that we were both here from the DFW area in Texas, and so we're collaborating on this meetup, and just looking forward to hopefully anybody in the area. Or hey, we got a great airport; you can fly in for it as well. But we're just going to get together next Saturday. I'm gonna smoke a couple of briskets, clean briskets, working on it, and bring those to us. But depending on how many people are there, don't count on it feeding you completely. We'll see how long they last for. But we'll eat on some brisket or bring your own food is what we said. And we're just gonna have a good time. Carrie was also very generous to donate some Healing Humanity swag. So we're gonna do a giveaway, a couple of giveaways there as well. And just hopefully get to meet some other carnivores in person. Love it.
That sounds wonderful. Yeah. Hey, Rebecca.
Hey, also, there's going to be one in Charlotte, North Carolina, close to where I am. I will be down there. It's going to be September 21st. You need to go on Facebook and look up for the Charlotte Carnivore Meetup. And because we've also got Dr. Robert Kiltz is going to be there. So Dr. Kiltz is going to be there. So
Nice.
yeah, and possibly a special guest. I'm looking at you, Adam.
Well,
Hopefully.
Potentially.
Potentially.
well,
So yeah. So look up that too, because we're also going to have a whole bunch of stuff for like Healing Humanity that they're going to be doing something with.
That's
cool.
awesome.
We can't
Huge
compete
shout
with
out.
Dr. Robert Kiltz, but my brother Rhett's also going to be at our meetup. He's coming in from
Yes, but you're in
Washington area, so
Dallas. That's a big area. That's huge.
Right.
come on out.
So
Come on out. Go out to both of them. I'll tell you what, like that has been one of my favorite things being carnivore now for a little over 500 days is the carnivore meetups. Meeting these other like-minded individuals in person. Everybody's got the carnivore energy, the carnivore zen, like the energy. You could just feel it in the air at these meetups. I'd go to one every weekend if I wasn't trying to film a documentary and get this thing done, but they're incredible. So thank you so much, Ashley. Really appreciate you. Awesome. We got a couple super chats here real quick. Lash, $5 sending love to everyone. Thank you, Lash. You have an incredible
Awesome.
story. Everyone go check out Lash. We got one from Golf Addict. Thanks, Carrie, and everyone. You have been a lifesaver. Makes my heart full with all the support. 40 days carnivore, 23 pounds lost, want to reverse type 2 diabetes. Thank you so much, Golf Addict. You got this, man. 40 days in, you got it. And then we got a comment for Bill. Bill not really made it seem possible as someone who is obese. I started 5 days ago and saw almost immediate improvement in my mood and various other things.
Yay.
I love Bill. I love Bill too. Thank you so much. That's awesome. All right. Next up, we have Susan from the Healing Humanity team. How's it going, Susan?
It's going very well, Carrie. Thank you. Hi, Adam. Y'all.
How you doing?
Thank you, Susan. Susan, what inspired you to join the Healing Humanity team?
Well, I just saw the everything that was going on, all of the inspiration, all of the good results everybody was getting, and I also saw how the doctors, they seem very, very it's like a culmination of a hope that one day this would be more mainstream and that this would be something where they could see the benefits of people that were being healed by eating the proper nutrition. And I had experienced a good bit of healing, getting rid of medications, being able to walk without being hunched over and that kind of thing. I know years ago I could hardly get up and walk, and there was a time I had to ride my daddy's scooter to the bathroom, and all it was arthritis and inflammation in my back and my legs, and after I started eating back in February of 23, I also had those times where I felt good. I could concentrate on things, and like when I was in nursing school, and sometimes when I was working, I had a hard time concentrating. It's like I had to put blinders on to be able to see what I was supposed to be learning.
And Susan, how did you find a proper human diet?
I had gone to the doctor, and he finally had convinced me I needed to start taking cholesterol pills. I was already on blood pressure pills. And I didn't want, I'm a nurse and I work in a nursing home here in Alabama, and worked in a nursing home. I'm retired now. And it just made me cry. I was going, I don't want to be taking all of these medications. And it seems like the more medications I take, the more that I need to take, supposedly. And I thought, well, is there some way to naturally take care of this problem? And as I looked the at the cholesterol thing, and I ate, and but I was scared because we had been taught, I had grown up thinking that we were supposed to eat all of these vegetables, all of these fruits, and very little meat, little palm size, and it just was not working for me. It was making me worse, and I had to have my thyroid ablated, and so that bothered me. I have to take that levothyroxine, and so I have gotten to where now I do not have any pain. And the group, I haven't had any pain. I go to a chiropractor, and the frequency for which I go has lengthened out. And Dr. Hannon has written a book that says Stop the Pain. And they suggest a keto diet, but that to me was too complicated. And then they helped me a lot. So they saw how decrepit I was in my ability to get around. And I'm just so glad to have learned this way of eating.
Love that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Susan. Really appreciate all your support. You've been on a lot of the calls like since the start, like way back when. So we really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up, we got my buddy, the Carnivore Cure, Todd Bachnis, a legend, the man, the myth, the legend. How's it going, Todd?
Good, folks. How are you guys? Nice to see y'all.
The legend.
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Good to see you guys. Long time no see. It's been busy.
Right. Todd, what inspired you to become a part of the Healing Humanity team?
Let's see. Well,
you go way back too, if I remember right. I'm thinking back to the 24-hour live stream, which was nearly like a year ago.
Yeah, and actually, I messaged you when I saw a video. It was about 2 weeks before Bill reached out to you, and I messaged you and you on one of your videos because I was like, man, this is crazy because I started a little bit before you, and I was on my deathbed really, and I found Carnivore as a Hail Mary. I was well over 700 pounds, and couldn't breathe. I was on oxygen. I was stuck in a chair, and it was just a Hail Mary, and I had kind of climbed out of that, and I found out that this is for real. It's not it was a last ditch effort, but it was working. And so then I saw one of your videos and I kind of reached out to you, and it was right after that Bill reached out, and I heard Bill's story, and I knew where Bill was at because I was there 6 months earlier. And I was like, I got to get a hold of Bill because I got to let him know that this is not a fad diet, that this is working, this can save you. And so that was the main reason. And then when I found out you were doing a documentary, I'm like, well, we have to tell all the Bills and Todds and Carries and everybody of the world, we got to let them know that this is not a unsustainable fad diet that, that they're throwing out there. It's the proper human diet. It is the answer to what we've all been looking for,
I love that. That's one of the things I try to keep in mind because everyone loves Bill. There's only one Bill, but then like you said, there's other people like Bill stuck in their house or that are suicidally, horribly depressed, and people that are diagnosed with other chronic issues or ailments that they don't have this as an option. It's like we just want to get it out there as another tool in the toolbox, another option. Why are you so passionate about this, Todd?
I spent 15 years on the brink of suicide. I didn't want to be here, because I was trapped in a body I couldn't get out of that was miserable, and I was listening to the professionals, and the professionals were telling me to take drugs and do bariatric surgery like my mom and my sister that failed them, and lo and behold, it gets so bad I get on my knees, I find Carnivore, as the answer to prayer. And within 3 weeks, the depression and anxiety goes away. Within 3 weeks, that 15 years of hell was gone. And I was like, so all the drugs and all the experts and all the money and all the time at the doctors and all the medical wisdom that we have, and it took 3 weeks of ribeyes.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is a crime against humanity in my mind, because I'd lost my brother and my dad to this stuff, and I watched them go through the prescription drug, train. I remember when I got COVID and I got so sick and I was in the ICU for 11 days, I saw myself going down this path that my dad and brother had been down that put him in the grave, which was a whole life. They're like, well, this is now your new cardiologist, and this is your new pulmonologist, and these are all your new specialists, and these are all the tests you're going to take, and here's all the drugs, and this is where you got to be next week and next month and the month after that for tests, and this is what you can't do anymore, and this is what your life's going to look like, And I saw that, and it's just reminded me of everything I'd watched my dad and Ty go through, and it just put them in the grave. Their whole life was about just doctor's visits, prescription pills, and more bad news, and more pills to treat another thing. And then pretty soon you just watch them go downhill until they die, And so when I got home that day, I threw it all in the garbage. And I said, I'm either, I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to hand this to God. I'm going to do Carnivore, and I'm going to live, or I'm going to see Dad and Ty, one of the two. And Carnivore worked.
Thank God you did.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it, now today's right at 20 months, and I just built a gym in my garage. I'm getting up at 4:00 in the morning, lifting weights every day because I got so much energy and strength. I'm down 300 pounds. I'm off the oxygen, off all medication, completely mobile. Congestive heart failure is gone. I had a resting heart rate of 107 beats a minute. It's down to that. Yesterday it was at 58 beats a minute.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've got my strength back. Just everything is exponentially better in 20 months. 20 months. That's nothing.
You probably would have done this for like one of those issues, and you're having all of these, like the congestive heart failure. A lot of our story overlaps with like the congestive heart failure and the depression, and just 3 weeks it's gone. It's hard not to be. On one hand, it's a blessing. It's amazing. Yeah. I'm no longer depressed after all of the struggling for most of my adult life. On the other hand, it's hard not to be kind of pissed off about it. Like this was it the whole time.
Oh, exactly. To me, now, now every day it's just like the gloves are off. I'm not going to be nice about it. This is clearly a system of power and greed that's hurting people, and we're taking a blind eye to it. And so, yeah, I don't pull any punches anymore. I'm mad. As far as I'm concerned, it killed my brother. It killed my dad. It made my whole family sick. It took years of, on a loss of quality of life out of me. And so it's time to fight, and just put it out there. And that's why I'm so thankful for you guys and this team and what Healing Humanity's doing and getting the word out there, because I don't think there's anything more important. This is health evangelism, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you so much, Todd, and we're excited because we're going to be filming Todd. His story is going to be in documentary on Healing Humanity as well. But besides all that, you got YouTube. You're sharing the word on your YouTube channel. Can you talk a little bit about what you got going on YouTube?
Yeah, we do a live stream every Sunday. I say that, and then Lindy had a family emergency this Sunday, so we moved it to Monday. But we do a live stream, and it's kind of focused at people like us, me and Limitless Lindy and Michael. We all started over 700 pounds, and we're kind of just trying to shine a light for the people that we can speak directly to, and maybe give some hope to, because Me and Lindy both kind of started close to the same time, and we didn't see anybody else losing from where we were on Carnivore. And so, and I know it's silly, but when you're that big and you're you know, a crackhead addicted to sugar, you make up lies to yourself and you're like, well, it worked for them because they were only 600 pounds, so it's not going to work. I mean, it was a stupid thing in your head, but your head plays games with you. So me and Lindy had been talking, and we related on so many levels of things that you can kind of only relate to if you've been really that big. And so we thought we should start a show so that people can hear the inside talk, and maybe they'll understand that we know things that only you can know. That's, you know, degrading stuff that you're ashamed of, that stuff that's embarrassing, but stuff that people need to hear so that they know there's a way out of there. And so that's what we're doing. So we do that every Sunday. It's a 3-hour live stream, and we'd like to take questions and answer everybody's questions. And that's really fun. And then I put out videos when I can. I'm starting to put out a few more, but I am a terrible, terrible YouTuber. I give you guys very much props. It's hard to do and get all the content out, but I am starting to put more and more out. And I'm also an admin at the Steak and Butter Gang, Bella's group, which I'm very proud to be a part of, because I see so much help going there, especially in the Chew the Fat meetings. It's just a really good spot for people to start carnivore and to have their, you know, beginner questions answered that can shine some light on things. I see that being a lot of help as well. And I'm also a member in Baker's group, love watching, or Barry's group as well, love watching that, and member of the Healing Humanity .life group. I love being over there. So I just love the community. I try to support as many as I can, because man, I think I think we got to unite and just be the biggest, loving, accepting community we can to bring everybody in and show them with results, and not, you know, not all this nonsense, you know, give some people hope.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I thank you so much, Shad. You're amazing. Your story is amazing. It's really inspiring. And I got to thank you too, on behalf of my good buddy, Bill, because you helped him out immensely, giving him some really good advice. That shake plate was a life changer for him. The lymphedema issues, he didn't even realize. You don't know what you don't know. I didn't know it. You knew it because you went through it, and it helped Bill immensely. He loves that shake plate too, but it's really helped him out when nothing else. I mean, think about this. He went to see a surgeon and got no answers, and it was all just his lymphatic system. And your advice really helped him. So thank you so much for everything.
I'm so happy that that's working for him. I know I had so much neuropathy in my legs from that lymphedema. It was ridiculous, and it all healed up. It's all healed. I have all the nerve function back in both legs. I can't believe that came back.
It's incredible. I bet at your worst, you probably never imagined coming back to this level of healing.
Never thought it was possible. Now I'm scheduling skin surgeries for next year, you know?
Wow. Well, Todd mentioned Lindy. We got to give a huge shout out to Limitless Lindy as well. An absolute inspiration. Lindy's going to be in our documentary as well. Got to meet her. I was very blessed to meet her down in Austin. She has an incredible story. As Todd mentioned, they do the live streams together. Her YouTube channel is also linked to in the description below. If you want to get inspired, go watch some of her videos. Go watch some of Todd's videos. Everyone on the channel. We've got a bunch of YouTube channels here. They're all linked to in the description. So inspiring. Adam.
Yes.
Who else can we shout out on here? We're missing some people. The whole team couldn't make it today.
Rose. So Lynn, you could unmute first, and then talk a little bit about Rose and what she's doing with you.
Yeah, we've got Rose, we've got Stan, who's very active, but Rose is another member of our interview team. And she's also a fellow Washingtonian with myself. I live in Washington. And just to give a shout out, since we're shouting out meetups, she has organized a meetup on, let me get the date here, September 14th. For any of you who are in the kind of South Puget Sound area, it's in Tacoma, Washington. I'm going to be posting it on my channel. So Rose's channel is called Coach Rose AJ, Carnivore Girl for Life. She has an amazing story. I have interviewed her on my channel. And she is an absolute bright light and such a gem and so passionate, full of enthusiasm. So I'm really happy to have her and know her. But she's and she actually is, she must be busy, but she texted me that she's going to be part of our beta group too. So that's good. Yeah. And then I know that, I don't know if Adam or Carrie, one of you want to just talk a little bit about Stan, because I know he's been doing some great things.
We got Emily too, I think.
And Emily.
Yep.
Yeah. Please join in if I'm forgetting anybody. It's a lot of people are helping.
Yeah, so many people. Huge shout out to Stan. Stan has been incredible. We have a little membership group, and during the group we do a members only live stream every day. Someone mentioned it'd be great if we combined all of these crazy comments we have coming in on the YouTube channels. Inspiring comments, people saying carnivore changed my life forever, carnivore cured my type 2 diabetes, depression, things like that. And Stan specializes in databases. And he put together this crazy database that pulls all of these comments into this big database, and then we can sort them. And so the end result of that is likely going to be several things that I think will inspire a lot of people, including potentially a book of just carnivore testimonies based on different categories like type 2 diabetes, mental health, depression, anxiety, heart disease, all inside a book. And there's potential that we'll use this in the documentary as well. It's bringing about more stories and things like that. So huge shout out to Stan. He's absolutely incredible and has been part of the team since way back in the beginning, I think. So.
Yeah. And Emily is also one of Bella's health coaches. She was a key person in helping scheduling for our Austin trip and kind of get the filming schedule coordinated for us. And so we've got a great team. And let me know, like I said, let me know if I don't think I'm forgetting anybody, but
the only other we got Dan, Carrie, and then John. So John is officially part of the team. He's one of our only paid people part of the team. But yeah, he is part of the team, and he's a big part of the team. So any of the edited content that you've seen, like for the teaser trailer, John put all that together. Phenomenal job. He's a phenomenal person. He's also a carnivore. His family is mostly carnivore as well. And the torch that we recently had put together, John put that together as well. So I did want to, before you talk about Dan, Carrie, I did want to get Lynn's reaction to the torch.
Yeah, I missed our meeting. Tuesday, and Adam just shared it with me today. And the trailer that we showed is good. The torch takes it to a whole new level. And I just think it's inspiring. And I think that once we get it onto the Angel Studios site, everybody has to go in and vote for it, because it's amazing. Just it's 9 minutes. I watched it today, and every single moment of it is inspiring. You cannot not watch it and not be inspired. Yeah. So I was really blown away.
Oh, love it. Yeah. Huge shout out to John. He's incredible. It's pretty awesome too that our whole team, even our editor, cinematographer, John, a bunch of carnivores, people on proper human diet. I don't know. We were talking about earlier, like our success metrics and thinking more clearly and stuff like that. It seems like we're definitely firing on all cylinders with the whole team. So, and it's so funny, not to name drop, but Dr. Kiltz just texted me because he just watched it just a couple minutes ago. He said he absolutely loved it. He said it's so inspiring. Thank you for sharing it. Wow. So that's pretty awesome.
And one thing I wanted to add, and I know that we all quote the different carnivore docs, and we have our favorite things that they say, but one of the docs, I feel like we don't comment enough on one of the comments he makes, and that is Dr. Tony Hampton. And I mean, maybe it's because I came from a nursing career. It really just touches me when he talks about how he came from as a doctor to becoming a healer, and no longer being a drug pusher and just a disease manager, to now a disease healer. I think because of being in the nursing field and the medical, field, that was so amazing to hear him say that. So big shout out to Dr. Hampton.
Yeah, huge shout out to Dr. Hampton. We got Jen here too.
Hi.
I totally agree with you, Lynn. I absolutely love Dr. Hampton and what he's doing. And I love the fact that he sees like hundreds of patients and he's like, I'm getting them all off their medication. I'm like, the world needs more Dr. Hamptons. He's so passionate about what he's doing and he's changing lives all over the place. So
yeah, and it makes me hope that other doctors will see that, because I just feel, and I don't have confirmation of this, but I just feel like there's got to be a ton of doctors and hundreds, if not thousands of doctors out there that feel so discouraged that they went into this medical field with a really good motive and good heart and really wanting to help people. And they end up checking boxes, following algorithms, and filling prescriptions. And I hope that the doctors out there can see that just through listening to the doctors that we're going to show, that there is hope there. You can be a different kind of doctor.
And there's more. There are more doctors out there that are doing this, and a couple other ones that aren't necessarily as well known. But we do have the ones that you see in our documentary coming up. Like you've got Baker and Chafee, but you also have like Dr. Tro and Dr. Laura Buchanan. She works with Dr. Tro, and they take patients online, and they are trying to do this also, get people off of medications. And they're very much so healers, not drug dealers. And I was so fortunate to go out to have coffee with Dr. Laura Buchanan. And she was just talking about how, they are, pulling people off medications. And it's a different feeling than what they're taught in medical school, and it's really inspiring. But there are people out there that are doing these things like Dr. Hampton is. You just have to find them. And unfortunately, a lot of these times insurance won't pay for them because they won't follow insurance's guidelines, because unfortunately insurance has a monopoly on telling doctors what they can and can't do, which is ridiculous. I know. But, hearing Dr. Hampton's say these things inspired me, like I want to be that healer. I don't want to be a dealer. I didn't go to school to be a dealer. I'm not going to school to be a dealer. So, I've got shoes to fill, but amazing inspirations in that area, like Dr. Hampton.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. And I know I haven't talked a lot about it, but I've talked to Adam about it. But one of my hopes on the membership site eventually is to have a really, really thorough database of providers so that our members can just go look at their area of wherever they live and find a good doctor that follows a proper human diet and promotes it, and a minimum at least supports your decision to follow it. And so that's a little side project that I'm hoping to work on as we go with this membership site. And as I learn about, all these doctors, is to build up a database. Maybe Stan can help me since he's a database expert.
Right. Yeah, that's huge. That's one of the big comments I get all the time is, where can I find a good, proper human diet doctor?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and unfortunately, the databases that are out there right now are so underkept. I don't know if that's a real word, but there's times when I've gone on there being like, oh, somebody says they want a doctor, so I'm going to go see if I can find one for them. And those people don't even live in that state anymore, or they've moved. And it's just, they're not always well upkept.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Well, one other shout out real quick, two other shout outs. Adam mentioned Dan. Dan has been working behind the scenes. Dan has been a good friend of mine. He lives in the Philippines. He's been helping me with stuff for like 10 years now, but he's helping me go through all of the emails and social media comments and organizing all of those things, because it's a blessing, but it's gotten out of control a little bit. So, and the cool thing with Dan too, he's carnivore and he's just killing it on carnivore, and his son is eating a proper human diet with him. And he's just the nicest, coolest guy, really good friend for a long time. Other shout out, wasn't expecting this. My wife, Jen.
Jen.
A lot of people don't know this, but
oh my, there's so many people.
we've been doing since the 24-hour live stream. I don't have one on me here. Shame on me, but you have one on you?
What's that?
The Redmond's little salt shakers, the travel salts. We have these little Redmond's salt shakers. If you go to the website, you can find them under the merchandise, and every penny we get from those goes towards the documentary. It's a little portable, travel-sized Redmond salt shaker and a keychain holder. They're really convenient, like if you're traveling or going out. Well, we did that for the 24-hour live stream, and then we just kind of forgot about it. I do have it in when I do YouTube videos. I try to keep the momentum going. I mentioned those. They've still been selling like really, really well. And Jen has been the one that has been processing all of those. There we go. Rebecca's got one. You've been processing, like how many of those they're still going out?
It's still going out. It's not as much as before, but I was having like 5 to 7 every day, and it was crazy. Actually, I looked at my email today, and I try to not go on my email too much on weekends, but there's at least 8 of them on just for today. So yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind throwing that out there, sharing it, going to the website, and then ordering it from there, you get more bang for your buck, I guess, as Carrie would say. You get the actual thing, plus you're donating to the documentary as well. So
yeah, it was kind of a nice way. We were looking for a way that people could donate to the documentary, but then get something of value. But people seem to really love these things, so they're cool too. Like Rebecca showed the little one. The cool thing is you don't have to like keep buying them. You can refill it at home with your larger Redmond's thing. That's what we do. So if anyone's interested in those, they are at healinghumanity.movie. There's a little merchandise section. And again, every penny from those goes towards the documentary. Rebecca is showing them off nicely. Thank you. You've been doing that. And then the other reason I wanted to shout out Jen is because she is like, this has been a huge passion project. I don't get a paycheck from any of this. Like I've said a million times, all the donations go 100% towards the documentary. So she's still getting the bills paid and running the movie theater and our Airbnb rental as I'm traveling around filming people and going to Austin and leaving to Alaska pretty soon. So
yeah, but we're all very proud of you. I'm not a wife that says, no, you can't go, you got to stay. And this documentary is very important. So me, him, all of you guys, everybody that hasn't even heard about it yet. So, I mean, I am totally on board with this. I love it. I appreciate every one of you guys for helping out. I'm kind of like all behind the scenes, but I get to see everything Carrie's doing.
She's not behind the scenes because she's been doing Carnivore now for what, 150 days?
I think it's 140 today.
140 days.
I don't know. But
she's
yeah,
been doing, you've been doing some shorts. People have been getting inspired off of those as well.
Yeah.
And she's the #1 Bill Nutt super fan.
I would think so.
She's got some pretty, just wait, Bill, till I come. She's got some pretty interesting gifts coming for Bill.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, well, we got one more person here.
You.
There she is. Emily, Coach Emily, Healed by Meat. How's it going?
Hi, you guys. Great to see you.
Now.
That's what I was looking. I was like, now we need to get this all symmetrical.
Yeah.
Bunch.
Huge shout out to Coach Emily, integral part of the whole team as well. How have you been?
Awesome. Oh, it's so great to see you guys. Hi, Jen.
Got to meet Emily in the documentary. She is also a little bit of a celebrity. Everyone doesn't know this yet, but she is in the Healing Humanity as well. We filmed her while we were down in Austin and her story. Could you tell us a little bit, Emily, like what inspired you to join the team and why are you so passionate about this way of living?
I mean, we deserve the truth, our country, our world. And it's just, maddening that we are told so many lies about how to get better and how to heal. And so this is, these anecdotals, we have thousands and thousands of building. It's like, we've got to get the attention. And so some things that are well put together, have good hearts, have generosity, the spirit of what you guys are doing, and that it is literally going to change so many lives on so many different medias, I was thrilled to just be a part of this and whatever I can. So I'm really happy to be here.
That's awesome. We're blessed to have you. We're thankful that you're part of the documentary, and it was so nice meeting you out in Austin. Could you just touch on real quick, why are you so passionate about coaching? Why is coaching important?
Yeah, it's that that hand holding and that companionship. When I coach, typically I also we text back and forth. And so it's in the daily minutia. And that was my journey. I didn't do this by myself and in a vacuum. And so it was with people around me, that community. And so a coach can just be a really specific type of community, and a mentor. And I love it. I can see the things that my clients can't see. And so we can see in each other the success that they feel like is so far away. And to us, it's just like, you're right there. You're right on top of it. And so having that other way to view that has been immensely important. And I love being a part of that.
That's awesome.
That's great.
It's got to be so rewarding helping someone find healing like that, change their life forever.
Yeah, miraculous. And you know, the troubleshooting, and that we don't always get that magic wand effect, and we have so many little details that we need, nuances that we need to troubleshoot, and the ups and downs of that journey, and having companionship in both of those places. We need the companionship and the excitement to get us going, get us motivated. Well, motivation doesn't last. And so habits, consistency, having a schedule, having some accountability, those are things that last, and it's worth it. This part of our lives is so worth making a priority. And so leaning in on that coaching relationship or a group, or, you know, it gives you so much returns in every other part of your life.
Absolutely. Shout out Emily, Coach Emily. There's a link to your YouTube channel in the description. You're also a coach on SBG. Huge shout out to Bella. Absolutely love Bella as well, who is also in The Healing Humanity. We filmed her for the documentary while in Austin. It was just a pleasure meeting her and Max and everyone. So huge shout out. Links in the description for everyone below. We have a couple comments. If anyone on here in the Brady Bunch grid that we have going on here, if any of you got to jump out, I totally understand. But I was going to take a couple. We have a couple questions here that came through, and anyone else feel free to jump in too if I've missed anything. But let's see here. There's a question for Adam. What can you say about treating your traumatic brain injury with the proper human diet? John Wood, Charlotte, North Carolina, 2 hamburger patties and some sour cream.
Oh, nice. That sounds like a commercial or a little jingle. 2 hamburger patties and sour cream.
Right.
So yeah, basically I just ate as much fat as I possibly could. And it wasn't, so I didn't start the carnivore diet to fix a traumatic brain injury. The doctors told me it was permanent damage, and it may get slightly better. It may not get better. And I went to therapy for 2 years, speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and that seemed to improve it a little bit, but I still had pretty severe complications with that. And 5 months into eating carnivore diet for an autoimmune condition, that brain condition, it completely resolved itself. I don't have that issue at all whatsoever. Now, my wife, she may argue with you and say I still have brain damage. But it was basically beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and I had leaned on the heavier fat side. So I would say, you know, if you're struggling with that sort of an issue, I would eat as much fat as you possibly can, because your brain is made, a good portion of your brain is made of cholesterol. So feed it what it needs.
Right. We're
I
fat
love
heads.
this trick that I saw you do, Adam, a long time ago on your Instagram or something, where you know, that beautiful glob of fat in the ribeye, right?
Yes.
And you would chop that up and then maybe add it later to your ground beef. Is that how you were kind of adding that in?
Oh yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Actually, it was beef fat trimmings from the butcher. Just a big old giant, like 20-pound bag of beef fat. And I would take a little bit of it out of the freezer, chop it up, throw it in with the ground beef. And it was probably like a 50-50 ground beef at that point.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And I do, in my air fryer, I do those trimmings and just make little fat crispies out of them, and maybe season them, maybe not. They're delicious.
That's awesome.
Adam, we've done a lot of filming together, and you learned that trick at our first adventure filming Carnivore Rancher Maggie up in Canada. I've been doing Maggie did that for breakfast every morning, cut up the beef fat, and like we went there to film for one reason, and we learned so much more, including that power tip, which one of the most powerful tips in my opinion. I've been doing Lion Diet for like 8 days now. I've done it on and off before as carnivore, but I've been doing the same thing Adam just mentioned, just upping the fat, and I feel incredible. I think I'm annoying Jen a little bit. I was like the other day, I'm like, I feel like I'm high right now on steak or something or fat or whatever. I feel so good when I get that fat.
Yeah, you guys think he's not stopped talking now? Oh my gosh, it's just all the time.
Sorry.
I mean, I love it, but it's just, yeah, you can totally tell a difference when he's not eating all the other stuff and it's just the meat that he's eating.
Yeah, I do great on carnivore. I feel amazing, but I think maybe I have a little issue with eggs, but I feel incredible, absolutely incredible on Lion Diet. So I'm sticking with it this time. All right. Let's see. We got a couple other questions here. Let's see here. Sorry, I don't want to miss any.
And Carrie, while you're looking through that, I just wanted to let you guys know, I just checked, and so far of the coupon code for the memberships, we've only had 19 people use it as of this moment. So we have 81 more slots for 30 days of free membership to our new in our beta group, to our new membership site. So use HHB1 if you would like to be part of that beta test group. Explore the site, post on it, communicate with us. So we've got plenty of coupon codes available.
Absolutely. And one thing I wanted to add to that also that we didn't touch on before. So we're going to have a stream, basically all about the membership site and talking about that and interacting with people about that. But I think we need to let people know that. So aside from when we're actually charging an actual monthly membership fee, that membership fee is going to help to go pay the Healing Humanity team and the overhead that's involved with running such a massive, massive website. There's a lot of nuts and bolts to that website. So once those fees are and all that stuff is paid, everything above and beyond that is going towards supporting the documentary. So I thought that was important that we shared that a portion of your membership fees every month is going to help to not only support the documentary, but we're doing a series after this. And then as Carrie had mentioned in a lot of other streams, we're going to do individual episodes. Each individual person is going to have their own episode as well. So that stuff costs quite a bit of money. If you've seen the bills from our editor, you would have sticker shock. So
I've seen it, yes.
Right.
Yeah, so the link is in the description, and I just posted it in the chat as well. Here's a question for Mr. Todd Bachnes. You healed from lymphedema with carnivore?
Yes. So I know that lymphedema, they say, is not healable. And I can tell you, they have a hard time tracking it, right? So they can only track the effects of it. What I can tell you is my right leg, when I started this journey, was my right calf was 35 and a half inches in diameter, and now it's 27 inches in diameter. And my left leg was 36 and a half inches in diameter, and now it's 28 and a half inches in diameter. And that's been carnivore. It's been fasting, aggressive fasting. I'm doing that for the autophagy specifically to target that. And then I've been doing shake plates and rebounding pretty aggressively too, and that has made a huge difference. And it has completely transformed that lymphedema impacted fat tissue. It has completely broke that down. At this rate, I think I'll have it all gone in another 3 months, which I didn't think I was ever going to get rid of it.
Wow.
That's amazing, Todd. That's really amazing.
Yeah, that was tough. And but the great thing about it is all of the nerve function came back, because all that heavy fluid buildup in tissue was killing the nerves. And I got all the nerve function back. I have no neuropathy in my legs, which I didn't think I was ever going to get back. And that came back.
That's so encouraging too, because that was a concern of Bill. It's like, is this nerve damage I'm just going to have the rest of my life? And everyone's different, of course, but to see your results and what happened for you is certainly inspiring for him, helping him out. So
that's awesome.
Tina Newby asks, I wanted to use the code, but did not get presented with an opportunity to add the code. I'm not sure about that one because we had a bunch of people do it, right? Didn't you say, Lynn, you saw a bunch of people sign up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's a difference between trying it on your phone versus on a laptop, but maybe try it on a different device. We're still kind of working the kinks out of some of these things with how it interacts with the different devices. So if you continue to have problems, Adam, can she just email you since you tend to deal with more of the tech issues?
Yep.
Yeah, so that would be adam@healinghumanity.movie.
Yep. Send everything my way, and we'll get it solved for you.
Yeah, but
There shouldn't be an issue, at least that we know of right now, but you
yeah,
never
and I
know.
see
We're
Dr.
early on.
Dr. Nelson made a comment that he was able to do it. So hopefully it could be a device issue. So just try it on a different device.
All right. One more question. Eric the Red said, anyone recommend electrolytes? I struggle from leg cramps.
Yeah, I think in the beginning they can be super helpful. So it kind of depends on how much exercise, how much heat, how much you're sweating. But yeah, typically salt's the most important one, salting your food. But you can also do some that have some magnesium, potassium with them as well. So those can help a lot.
Yeah, I had a lot of leg cramps pretty chronically. And when I did the SVG's priming protocol and then started doing the fasting, especially dry fasting, I think I was actually causing my own problems because when I started cutting things out, I used ice water as like a crutch to get over sugar. So where I normally eat something sweet, I was drinking water. Every time I took something away, I'd replace it with water. When I stopped using nicotine, I replaced it with drinking more, just like a mouth fix type thing. And I started drinking over 2 gallons of water a day. Well, that was washing my potassium out, and it was causing leg cramps. When I started doing dry fast, that all turned around because then my body started going into that metabolic fluid. And so I went from drinking about 2 to 2.5 gallons of water a day to drinking like 60 ounces of water a day, if that, and that cleared all of my cramps up. So I thought that was interesting. That was a new thing I kind of discovered. So
good stuff. One more question. Does carnivore help high blood pressure?
I mean, we definitely see that over time. It's not necessarily immediately. It can have a big effect of that up front, but it brings your inflammation down overall. And so this is part of the healing that's happening in the entire body, and blood pressure does tend to correct, but you'll need to be careful if you're on medication, work with your doctor and come off of that, slowly. But we absolutely have seen it. I wouldn't say that it's something that happens in the first week. But yeah, over time, definitely I see improvement there.
Yeah, I can attest for myself that it took me maybe up to a year.
Yeah.
My blood pressure wasn't exorbitantly high, but sometimes it was in the 150s over the low 90s or upper 80s. I was not on any medication. I agree with you, Emily, that if you are on medication, you absolutely need to work with your doctor because you can definitely get you have your blood pressure drop too low. But this morning I checked it and it was 115 over 69, and it's been low probably for the past maybe couple of months. So
yeah, same for
not
me.
low, but normal. Yeah,
mine's normal now too. I was on all sorts of medication most of my life. Last time I checked, I was 120 over 80. Just
woo, textbook.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, it could be off by one. It was precisely 120 over 80. So I think I can't do much better than that. And as many people have probably heard, my congestive heart failure also reversed doing carnivore. And that's all in my health records, sort of before and after. I feel a million times better all around. No more fatigue, no more of the symptoms I had of the congestive heart failure anymore. My heart is performing much more efficiently while in ketosis. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And one thing I experienced too is that no more heart palpitations. I was having heart palpitations very frequently. I wouldn't say daily, but probably 4 or 5 times a week. I would be experiencing days a week. I'd be experiencing it. And I don't have any more heart palpitations.
Good stuff. Susan Hampton, thank you. Healing Humanity documentary team. You are all so important and appreciated for all you're doing to make this awesome film happen. Praying for you all and your families. Thank you, Susan. Susan is sweet. Susan is wonderful. She's always leaving great comments.
Yeah. Yes.
And I have to say the same thing. Thank you guys all so much. I'm humbled. I can't believe like all of these great, awesome individuals are working on this thing. I'm a very loyal person, but I guess regardless of that, it's just nice to have so many awesome friends now too. Jen and I were kind of talking about this before, but she's like, you didn't have any friends before Carnivore, and I have all these Carnivore
Is that a red flag?
Yeah. Right.
Be careful what you wish for.
Right. I am so thankful for all of you. You guys have my loyalty, friendship forever for sure. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate you and love you guys too for everything you're doing.
Absolutely.
Yep. You're a fearless leader.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe we'll end it there. This has been wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Please, I encourage everyone watching. There's 423 people on. Check out the coloring book. It's incredible. Share it with some friends. Check out the new membership site. You can get the free membership. There's a link in the description below. And go support all of these amazing folks that are doing this documentary. They're all doing it. They're volunteering out of the kindness of their hearts. Almost every person on here has an incredible YouTube channel. I have links in the description for all of them. So even if you can't watch now, just go subscribe to every one of the channels, and then you'll get some really good content in your YouTube feed. So
yeah.
Anyone else want to close out with any other messages before
I
we wrap it up?
wanted to say one more thing that was kind of spurred by a comment Robin made earlier, and this has to do with the kids book. And for anyone who joined late, this kids book, myself and Amy Haas created, and a portion of the proceeds are going to the documentary. This is about carnivore diet for little kids, turns beef, bacon, butter, and eggs into superheroes, comic book, activity book, coloring book. But one of the things that Robin talked about with her 11 grandkids is that she doesn't have any real control over their diet because of the fact that they're, not her kids or her grandkids. But one of the things I want to encourage people is that when you have the beef, bacon, butter, and eggs turning into superheroes, that one of my hopes is that kids will start asking their parents to please feed them beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. And that's this one way that if you get this book for your kids or your grandkids, that we're hoping that children will start asking the parents for this type of food, because that's how you change the next generation. Is you just like the other side promotes with commercials. They turn sugar into this wonderful, delectable, appealing thing. And we're trying to do the same thing with the proper human diet, is turn these foods into your power foods so the kids will start asking the parents. So buy the book and give it to as many people as you can. And it helps to support the documentary.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Are there any other ones out there, Lynn?
There's a couple. I don't
Carnivore for kids.
To my knowledge, none of them are the same format. I think they might be a couple little storybooks. We've searched and found maybe 2, but ours is. We haven't seen any more that's the same format with the comic book, the coloring, and the activity.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
There's a little bit for a variety of ages. Yeah,
it's really well done too. I'm not just. Right. I'm not just hyping it up, but it's really well done too, because there's activity pages and then there's just like full color pages mixed in. It's really, really good quality.
It's very colorful. Yeah. Right. And it's very positive, and we're not bashing people, and we're not we're just trying to give a positive message to the kids, inspire them to want these types of foods.
Right.
Yep. 100%. So link in the description in the chat for that. And I think we'll end it there. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for all of the amazing comments. Really appreciate it. Thank you for all the volunteers that have been helping with this documentary. Our goal is to heal humanity. I think we're going to reach millions of people with this documentary, and it would not happen without all of the people on this call right now and all the amazing people in the chat as well. So thank you guys all so much. We really appreciate you.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.